Okay, so this is going to be a quick demo of what I call my quick picker. It's basically a canvas or graphical interface for a low voice mode. So here you have it. I can trigger this either by my foot switch or by my Xbox adaptive controller with a physical button. In the middle, where you have like this.
Let me interrupt you quickly. Maybe you want to use a different background because the text on text is a bit hard to read.
Okay, yeah, I'll switch to something else.
Yeah.
Browse. Better?
That's that's better. Or just just like a if you just have like a blank web page or a blank background. I mean, this is probably fine.
Tab new. Hide all. Browse.
Perfect. That's great.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so in the middle, you have this like ellipses. Those are basically, functions. So you have like control click, drag click, right click, navigating back and forward, closing tabs, open task manager, searching selected text. In the bottom, you have media controls like play, previous, next for like music. On the left-hand side, we have running applications so that I can focus. And on the right-hand side, I have the Windows snap function. So you can actually like reposition and resize windows to predetermined positions. And all of these are buttons. So I just press my foot switch, this pops up, and then I just use my eye tracker and a parrot noise to basically click on something. So we can see the task manager, for example.
Nice.
Browse. Yeah, and for all of these buttons, after I've clicked on it, now my repeater noise is actually loaded with that action until I speak another phrase. Air.
Nice.
Browse. Yeah, so the idea there is that when I'm just browsing the web, I'm reading Slack, news, forums, or just browsing code, I can actually, once click on right click or tab close, and now that is loaded in my repeater sound. So that's way I could actually, close multiple things, or yeah, I don't have to open this over and over again.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I guess by default you would have been doing it by voice, and then your repeater noise would work. So this kind of just functions like a voice command from the repeater perspective.
Exactly.
Nice.
It feels very intuitive doing it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in everything in the middle is basically just actions that gets called for different features. I can show you on the left hand side. If I click on Firefox, and now Firefox is focused. Cancel. Browse. Yeah, so here I have my focus, like the focus application list. And on the right hand side is actually all the different snap commands. So I can click on each of those internal colored rectangles, and the active window will take that shape.
Nice.
Browse.
That's pretty cool.
Browse. Yeah, I think so. It is actually the first time I've seen a visual representation of the different snap modes. So it's also kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And here I'm actually just using like the dict, like the list with all the different positions, the implementation of those. I haven't recreated it. I've actually just queried the implementation that is used, because when you set the window position, you just give it the rectangle from the window, and it gives you back a new rectangle with the new position. And I'm just doing the same thing here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so if I would go into my Windows my Windows snap.py and change one of those, it will update here automatically. And also like the proportions are 16:9 here because I have a 16:9 screen, so they are actually, if you have a different screen, that they are going to update as well. I mean, fidelity is important.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically that is it. I can, snap windows, I can focus applications. I have this like wheel of, popular features. All of these will be loaded on the repeater noise, and I can trigger it either with my hand or my foot. And I'm thinking of training another parrot sound, so I can actually trigger this with the parrot noise.
Yeah, I like this a lot because like it's clear a lot of work went into it, but like there's like the demos would was like what 5 minutes just because it's so intuitive and simple. So I think it's like it's actually really nice.
Yeah, it's not really new features. It's basically, instead of remembering this is like 50 different voice commands, I have just added buttons for them.
Yeah.
So I guess
That's all.
people who come from more like I guess like Dragon or whatever that has a interface that tells you what you can do. This is kind of similar, and Phil actually had the idea that I could have like at the top or something, I could have application specific things. So if I'm in VS Code, I would have like a VS Code bar at the top. If I'm in Firefox, I would have a Firefox bar at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
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 So this will basically be so the reason I did this from the beginning is just to try to save my voice, because I sometimes do. Yeah, now I'm probably running at like 18 hours Talon nonstop. So I kind of need to take pauses, while I'm reading and stuff like that. So this is like a low vocalization mode. That was the idea.
Yeah, nice. And it seems like it's probably I imagine you'll get pretty good at the pedal look because your eyes will learn where to go because presumably it's in the same spot every time.
Exactly. The only thing that
So
will change, of course, is the list of applications you can focus, because if you open and close
right.
applications, but everything else is just static.
Yes, I imagine once your eyes get good at just jumping to the right spot, I would imagine it's not any slower than a voice command, no?
Probably not.
Like it'll take some practice because you probably are just still getting used to the. Yeah, that's maybe slightly slower than
Gross.
a voice command, but not much. And
No.
you're just brand new with it, so I would imagine.
Yeah. I've been playing around with it for a few hours, and I didn't really feel that I was slower. The only thing that was is that I can't chain. So that makes me slower. But for like a single command, I think it's totally.
Oh, so it goes away as soon as you click one of them?
Yeah, I mean, I could do something else. So like I have to click outside, so I have to click a button and then outside. I could do that. Now I close it as soon as I click something.
I mean, would it make any sense to just have the same mechanics that you have for your other foot switches, where like if you press the foot switch down immediately, then it just pops up and stays until you click something. But if you hold down your pedal, then it stays up until you let go.
Maybe right now I'm actually using it, so if I click once, it's actually navigate back, because that is kind of common to use in like code or like web.
Nice.
And if I hold it down, I open this one.
But would maybe just make it so that it stays up as long as you hold it down then?
I could do that. So I have to when I release it, it disappears. Yes, I could. I could do it. So I have to hold it down. I could do so. I have to click outside. I mean, the sky's the limit. I just
Yeah,
have to
totally.
play around with it.
Like
I
just
think. I
decide
think
how
for now it's probably not that common that I want to, because I mean all the mouse things. This has to go away so I can actually use the mouse things, and like navigation. I mean that is the point. It's loading my repeater noise. So if I wanted to go back again, I could just repeat.
yeah. Yeah, so the odds that like the percentage of the time where you need to do two different things in rapid succession is probably like way smaller than like the rest of the cases where you want it to just go away.
Yeah, so when I said that I can't chain, it's kind of like, instead of saying, tab new, some phrase, blah blah blah, enter, move window, all of that. Now it's kind of like using my eye tracker to double click on like the name bar to open a new tab, and then go into like favorites, click something there, then open this one and click a button here. So it's kind of like it's kind of I'm more mouse driven when I'm not vocalizing, so that's why I can't really chain the same way. But that is just because it's a different mode of input, you know.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's not like I feel like you don't need to be super fast for that.
No, and I must say I can show you how it actually looks when browse. Yeah, so here we are on the Talon community wiki. For example, if I wanted to open all of these links here on the right hand side,
Very nice. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
browse.
functional. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, it remembers where my mouse was when I opened it. So if I put my mouse over one of the buttons here,
Ooh, nice.
yeah, browse.
Love
Shh, shh, tss. Browse. Yeah, so here's the list of all the like buttons, and the last boolean at the end for the first three is basically restore mouse position before running the callback.
Yeah, man, your setup is getting so cool.
Yeah, I mean it's getting way custom.
Yeah, awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so now with the eye tracker, the Xbox adaptive controller with like parrot and with foot switches, and yeah, it's.
Yeah, you've got
I mean, now while I'm at it and recording, I can just talk about my mode visualizer at the top.
Yeah.
Browse. Yeah, so now when Talon is asleep, it's a black circle, and if I wake up Talon into command mode,
Nice.
dictate over mixed mode over drowse. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing around with, Skia canvases in Talon for a few days.
Nice. Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the easiest thing to work with, but the amount of versatility and usability I can get out of them is, worth it.
Yeah, right. Because you have this overlay you can just put anywhere, and you get transparency. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, exactly. And Phil also said that this ellipsis or circle in the middle, with my thumbstick that I now have for my Xbox adaptive controller, you could just do like the game selector wheel. You just rotate the thumbstick to select these kind of things.
Yeah, actually, when I saw that circle first, I thought this was for your controller.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I mean, my RSI is still bad enough that I don't really want to, when I'm sparing my voice, I don't want to sit there for hours using my hands. So this is for the eye tracker primarily, but you could definitely adapt this to, physical inputs.
Yeah. But no, I think like eyes and a noise is pretty good. But
Yeah.
you totally. Yeah. Very nice. And then I guess you'll hack on the Xbox thing and then do a video on that one later.
Yeah, I already actually have a bill of materials up on my README for it. So yeah, the thumbstick is up and running. I just need to 3D print an enclosure. I actually have 5 of those thumbsticks. I'm gonna print 5 different enclosures and basically just try them out.
You need more thumbs.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like one is gonna be as small as possible that you're gonna just palm. So when I'm standing up, I can just have it in my palm, like hands hanging at my side, and using that for that. That's probably gonna be quite ergonomic. Another one is gonna be some kind of maybe like a ring at the back, so you actually put your fingers through it, so it's actually like attached to one of your fingers, but you still have it. So that would be less palm and more at your fingertips. And then one that's basically like mounted on the table with Velcro, that is still small. And then I'm going to try like a larger one where I actually print a custom top that is actually much larger, like a mushroom cap that would be like a proper palm stick, Yeah, I mean, and These damn PS2 joysticks cost like $1 on eBay or something.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I just plug and play into the Xbox controller. I had to solder a few wires, but that's it.
Amazing. Oh, that's
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll look forward to the demo on that stuff once you get it up and running. But this is very cool. I like this a lot. It seems really functional. The popping to repeat and the fact that it moves the mouse back and the visualization. Yes, this is really nice stuff. Good work.
Yeah, and I mean, it is basically buttons. We already have buttons in like the help active and stuff like that. So it's just a rectangle you can click on, and it just runs a Talon action when you click on that. And for some of them I had, so it moved the cursor back before. But I mean, it's not really rocket science. It's just a lot of different parts.
I wonder if there's a nice UX trade-off to be had with implementing hover colors. I get the feeling that might be easy and might just make this feel a little bit better to use.
Oh,
Um,
that's trivial. Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's not going to be like night and day, but I do think it might make this feel a
Mm.
bit better if like you can see that you're in the right place, right? Because then you just like you pop it up, you see that the right thing is colored, and you just
Yeah, as
watch.
soon as the color turns, you know that you can click. You don't really have to go. As soon as you're like 1 pixel in and the color turns, you can just click immediately. Yeah, probably.
Right?
I mean, this didn't exist when you went to sleep yesterday. So I mean, all of this is just yeah, very fresh. But so yeah, hover colors definitely. As I said, like a bar on the top that's actually application specific sounds interesting, because if I'm
Yeah.
in like in Firefox, picking up the history or my favorites might be nice when I don't want to use my voice. In
Yeah,
VS
yeah.
Code, I can have things like, you know, is hiding the bar and, you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah, favorites would definitely be nice. I do wonder in VS Code, like how much low voice
Yeah,
stuff
it's
there
gonna
would
be
be.
for like, you know, reviewing code and
Ah,
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I see. I see. Yeah, because you can scroll and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So my foot switch, I can scroll up and down, and I can go back and forwards. I can close tabs. I can open tabs. The search button here searches for selected text.
Nice. That's slick. Very nice.
Browse. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's just yeah. I mean, it's just Talon stuff. I have just added buttons instead of voice commands.
Yeah, but it's just cool how you've taken like a very small set of buttons, but just made them like maximally usable.
Yeah.
Very,
And then also some things doesn't make sense. Like if I'm gonna edit text, I'm gonna go voice. So there's no point of adding like deletion and inserting lines and stuff in here, because if I'm actually editing, I'm using voice. This is so I can read and navigate, you know, without using my voice. So I
exactly.
can review code, review PRs, I can read Slack, I can read
Yeah.
news, emails, all of that stuff without using my voice. And I mean, during that could give me like 20-30 minutes during you know, parts of the day where I can just relax my voice. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's super important. Yeah, because otherwise it'd be like you can use like your scroll noises for a lot of this stuff, but then like there's probably a certain set of like like 5 or 10 things which you're constantly having to use your voice for. So it's
Exactly. Yeah, so I did something this morning where I was just gonna read, you know, Slack, and you know, cold turkey is my favorite thing. So I couldn't use my voice. I just had to use something else, and that very quickly, you know, told me that I was missing some buttons.
yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. Awesome, very cool demo. I love it. Yeah, excited to see where it goes as well.
Yeah,
Um,
cool. Yeah, I have a work meeting soon, so I'm gonna log off now and see us Monday.
cool, yeah, and I guess you'll just drop the video
Yeah,
on
I'm
Slack.
just gonna upload it to YouTube first, and it's gonna convert it to 4K, which takes hours. But I'm gonna post it as soon as it's ready.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
Good stuff. Get some sleep.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All
Stop
right.
recording.
Take care.